And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
Hi. So I've had several of my questions answered already today. I'm in a tremendous, wonderful space in manifesting things, appreciating them, a relationship. I'm in a new leadership position. I'm teaching. I'm very, very excited about what is. In the relationship sector, I tend to sometimes become balled up about the what ifs. And I wonder about that being some form of sabotage.
For sure. It's literally carving out thought pathways that lead to where you don't want to be. Unless it's the what ifs that delight you when you think about them.
No, and because I believe they are tied to history.
Of course they are.
And
they're old habits of thought that have nothing to do with now. But your thought is where you last left it, so why don't you leave it in a new place? If you could not ever think about that, then there would be no reason to leave it in a new place. But since it is logical and likely that you are going to continue to think about it, then the best idea is to think about it in ways that feel better. So we're going to give you a process. This has been something that Esther's really been enjoying recently. And we're calling it the satisfied, dissatisfied, or satisfied, unsatisfied, satisfied, not satisfied. So she opens her journal and she puts a big S over here and a big un over there. And then she just sort of lets life happen. So something wonderful will happen, or she will just feel wonderful in much the way you just described. And so on this side of it, she'll write a line that says, let's see, what were your lines? I'm living just a wonderful life, and I've taken on a new leadership role. Just listing those things that are easily satisfying. Nothing unsatisfying about it. And then you said, and a new relationship. And then in the relationship sector, so then on the unsatisfying part of the journal page, you might write, I worry about some things that have happened in the past happening again. Satisfied, 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 unsatisfied. So now, because you're right here where you have control, it's not satisfied, it's the end of the world. It's not satisfied, I don't know what to do. It's not satisfied, I'm beside myself. It's satisfied or unsatisfied. It's just in that controllable, low momentum stage is when we're encouraging you to catch it. So now you've written that. And now, if you will, take that idea that you just wrote. I am thinking about the unpleasant what ifs. Then you might say, but there are so many pleasant what ifs. And I have no reason to think about unpleasant what ifs. These are just habits of thought, and things are going extremely well. And it's so unnecessary that I bring the past into this because it has nothing to do with it. So now you've got satisfied, 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 not satisfied, satisfied. But this is the point. On the subject of dissatisfaction, you have left that subject in a place that you have never left it before. Well, probably doing that today is not going to do the trick completely, because there were a lot of things that you were worried about. Every relationship has a certain amount of insecurity within it. In other words, when your happiness seems like part of the reason is because of this other person, then this other person sticking around feels like a pretty important thing. We get how knowing what you really want can make you know what you don't want. But if you play this game with yourself, it won't be long before there will be a new place that you've last left it. You don't have to do that very many times. And think about it. Oh, we really want you to hear this. When you're in concert with your inner being, under the influence of your inner being, your attraction power is way, 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 way more than when you're not. From the very first moment that you had a I know what I don't want, I know what I do want moment relative to relationship, your inner being only focused upon what you do want. So consider this. Pretend, it isn't literally this way, but pretend that your inner being is over there with that journal, a journal just like it. And Everything's on this side. Satisfied, 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 satisfied. Page after page, satisfied, 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 page after page, satisfied, 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 satisfied. You're the only one ever having any unsatisfying moments. So imagine what this momentum is. Just imagine what that momentum is, and then feel how once you tip the fulcrum so that you leave that unsatisfying what if in a whole new place, so that you join concert with your inner being who has true knowing. Can you imagine how stable and solid you can be within that? And it's like our friend was telling us earlier, it's not the result of the test, it's not the manifestation, it's the torture that you do to yourself unnecessarily in the meantime. Yeah?
Yes.
Helpful?
Very. Thank
Something
you.
more?